Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of February 18th, and we are coming off of a full moon week. That Leo full moon was sure grandiose in the sky, very beautiful with that planetary lineup out there. The night sky has been truly incredible lately. So if you haven't been able to get out and check it out on a clear night, do it. It is just beautiful, the being able to connect with the planets in the way that we do here astrologically, but also being able to just feel their energy and be under the light. And so, very, very cool opportunity for us to have so many planets in the sky right now. And that's going to be going on for a couple of more months. And then I think things kind of start to move on from that. But that was a really big full moon, and Leo full moons beg for attention. And so there is absolutely some type of expression that gets turned loose. We get let loose at a full moon and express ourselves, and things come to culmination, things come to a head, and we're able to see and explore things at its maximum potential, the full moon being the fullest and brightest, that maximum potential of that light and energy coming through. So we are waning off of that full moon this week, but absolutely have a busy one ahead of us and just happening. I'm sure you are already feeling it. It's just busy, busy, busy. And the astrology, it kind of affects us in ways that as above, so below. So when there is a lot of planetary action, we can just feel a lot of action in our lives and see a lot of action in the world. And one of the things that is really getting us propelling forward this week in particular is the movement of the planet of Saturn in Pisces, leaving retrograde shadow. And that is an opportunity for us to see Saturn, a planet that governs and rules areas of our life, and being able to move out of past themes and all those things we were wrapping up and doing. We are finally able to move forward and have some fresh action and take care of some things in this new territory of Pisces. Saturn is the planet of so many things, but very much responsibilities, sort of the more serious part of life, the things that we are responsible for and need to take care of on a daily basis, but also just the heaviness of life in general. We can learn a lot of life lessons with Saturn, and a lot of our life lessons are wrapped into these Saturn cycles. This is also a very karmic planet. So we see these karmic patterns and these karmic cycles coming through with Saturn transits. And so Saturn's in Pisces and has been for a while. We've had about a year to a year and a half. I don't know the exact time frame on that, but about a year to a year and a half of Saturn in Pisces already. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each sign. And so we still have time with Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is a sign that is all about closure and finishing things. And so we are feeling very drawn to finish things with Saturn being that planet of responsibility. We're feeling very responsible for Piscean themes right now. So one thing that you can do to get a little more of a solid grip on which part of your life in particular is this going to be showing up. So you go to your astrological birth chart. You look to the Pisces area of your chart, check and see what house that is in. It's going to be in one of the 12 houses in the astrological wheel. That house deals with a certain area of life. And so you can see very specifically where Saturn has been working for the last year and a half in Pisces, mulling over the first 19 degrees, but now we're breaking through the 19 degree, breaking through into the 20 degree point and moving beyond here in Pisces with Saturn. So we're going to be finishing up, closing things up, and seeing this cycle, start to move into its finishing phase. It's been like 6 months since we've seen Saturn reach this point in Pisces. And 6 months ago, or a year and a half ago, when Saturn moved into Pisces, there wasn't quite the party going on here as there is now. So very interesting lineup, as also today, the February 18th, the day that I'm given this report, is the day that the sun moves into Pisces. And so we have more watery, mutable feminine energy coming in. The sun represents just kind of our main area of focus, our main area of life, our ego, our self, our identity. And so we're identifying now with the sun in Pisces with Piscean themes, and we're focusing and filtering everything through this Piscean light. And Pisces is a water sign and is the mutable sign, very flowy. The mutable means it changes a lot. It's okay with moving and shifting and changing. And so that's really great for a moment in time where, we might be seeing these finishing touches, these closing out of these cycles, but not really totally clear yet on what's next. What is next is, I could tell you, is Aries. And Aries is new beginnings. And so you go from this, well, I'm done with this, into I'm starting that. And so we're going to be feeling more of these closing out, more of these finishing. And it takes a true surrender in order to sometimes let cycles and let these things change and flow and move on, even if they feel incomplete, or if you feel as though there are still things that, need to go back and be done, things bothering about the way things went. I mean, Pisces is an emotional sign. We could be feeling very emotional about things that we see that are coming to a close. Mercury, the planet of our mind, is also in Pisces here in the Pisces party. So mentally, we are here. Our filter, our ego, our identity, the sun is here. Saturn, our responsibilities, what we're feeling ambitious for, the things we really want to take care of, is in Pisces. The North Node is also in Pisces. The North Node represents places that we are wanting to go in our life. This is almost like an Aries energy where it's the new stuff that's coming in, the things that we are shooting for, and the South Node being the things we are walking away from, things we are leaving behind. So North Node bringing new things into this Piscean energy here. We're feeling like there are new opportunities with the North Node, and also Neptune is here, and Neptune is the planet of dreams and hopes and desires and the things that we wish and hope that we can become and have and move into, and that North Node very much bringing that opportunity in. So this Pisces party, it's a stellium at this point. We are going to be having this new moon in Pisces next week. So we'll be talking about that one next week. We could be seeing a lot of just watery things going on. We have more water in the chart. Mars is in Cancer and is basically sitting still and about to station direct on February 23rd. That is Sunday of this week. So that watery energy from Cancer being felt very strong. Mars is our physical body. Mars is where how we get things in the world that we want. 444 444 444 across all my clocks here. This is Stacy Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the cosmic community. And we also have the moon in Scorpio early in this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and the very beginning, early morning hours of Thursday, a Scorpio moon brings in more watery, deep themes from that sign. And so everything is feeling the water. We could be, it's almost like with the busyness of the week, it could almost feel like we're drowning a little bit because the waves they just keep coming, and these waves can be literal, like it could be literal rain and waves and tsunamis and storms and like water floods and events and things like that. It could be emotional floods, just feeling like overwhelmed by all of the waves of the emotions coming through, and you could see lots of tears, crying. This could also be very healing opportunity right now because water is very intelligent. I've actually been amazed by a lot of information I've been hearing recently about the memory that water can hold in it, and the fact that you can transition the molecular state of water with the intention that you're putting into it via your actual speech, like toward the water, or if you are to, have some type of like oming or other meditative, sounds like that affects the water. And if you do positive things, it makes the water molecularly look so beautiful. And if you do terrible things to the water, then it is all jagged and crazy looking and not so great looking. So we know that we can change the molecular structure of water. We are so much water. So working with this watery energy is going to be the best way. Moving into the surrender mode and feeling into it. What messaging is coming through? This is also source and spirit, and the intuition is very strong with water signs. This is why we can just receive so much messaging so fast when we have lots of energy in water right now, like we do. And it goes where it wants. I mean, water is powerful when those tsunamis hit. It's non-judgmental of what's in front of it. It doesn't say, oh, I would rather, take that out or take that out. Water is non-judgmental. It comes through and it just floods and it pushes everything to the side and it goes where it wants to go. But there is an intelligence to this that we also need to trust, that source and spirit are getting the messages through to us that are most benevolent for us. And we're going to be talking so much more about Pisces because this little stellium, this little fun time going on is going to keep going for a while. Venus is about to retrograde and go back into Pisces and finish her retrograde there. We also have Mercury going to be setting up to station direct in the beginning degrees of Aries and also retrograding back through a lot of the same territory that Venus is in. So we're going to have Venus and Mercury retrograde in Pisces at the same time here over the next couple of months. We'll be chatting much more about it. And, big event coming up later this year is the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune actually moving out of Pisces. So much more Pisces talk to come. The moon on February 20th is going to move out of that Scorpio energy, that deep, darker, more contemplative energy of Scorpio that wants to really embrace the kind of the dark places. Sagittarius is a fire sign. We move into a little brighter area, tends to be more expansive and adventurous with the moon in Sagittarius. Wants to talk about philosophy and be enthusiastic and kind of go big. And then that actual moon is going to move through and square everything in Pisces over Friday and Saturday, the 21st and the 22nd this weekend. So we could feel a little more of a bumpy nature to the weekend because that moon is showing us what we feel and is creating the mood. And we're going to be squaring off to all of that whole Pisces party over those 2 days. It's going to be just an opportunity to learn more about what the Piscean themes are doing for you right now and how you can dive in just that much deeper. And on February 22nd, that moon moves out of Sagittarius. We're done with all those squares. We move into Capricorn. We have a little more of a serious, ambitious, responsible attitude here. Capricorn ruled by Saturn, moving quickly, moving into new territory, but still a kind of a constrictive type of energy that we have with Saturn. The moon, though, gives us the mood of feeling more ambitious and getting things done in Capricorn. And then on the 23rd, the following day, that's the day that Mars is going to be stationing direct. This is at 17 degrees of Cancer. So check out in your chart where 17 degrees of Cancer is. We're going to be seeing Mars go through this final phase of retrograde, moving back into Leo. We're not going to see new territory for Mars for a while until after, I think, 6 degrees of Leo is when we leave our shadow there. But Mars is actually in a really nice trine with Saturn right now, which is kind of slowing things down a little bit, helping us be just a little more realistic. Saturn is kind of winning in this trine between Mars and because Mars is normally probably the bigger energy that wins, but Saturn is moving direct. Mars is retrograde in a sign Cancer that doesn't really like. So Saturn is winning out here, saying, "Hey, no, we're gonna be realistic and slow things down just a little bit. Make sure that the action that we're taking is reasonable and responsible." So that looks like some good time to me, for anyone. If you're using these energies, Sunday, Monday, 23rd, 24th to kind of stay busy and get a lot of things done and embrace that Capricorn moon before the moon moves into Aquarius later in the day on the 24th. So that is the astrology for the week. I wanted to bring in just another reading today because I really like doing these readings, and I just love it. Like when a poem comes in on the day that I'm doing my show and it just rings so true to me, I know that I'm to bring it here. So I'm excited about this one. I just saw it on a Facebook group today, a women's group or something. And it just really spoke to me. So I'd like to read some of it for you. It's by Layla Allen, and it's called How Brave You Are. How brave you are for slowing down, for not finishing that to-do list. How courageous you are for not crossing that finish line because your body said enough. How fearless you are for choosing the quiet of your soul over those voices driving you always towards more. How bold, how rebellious you out there, honoring your own natural rhythm, going against the culture's breakneck speed. I want to make heroes of those who slow down. I want to make heroes of those who listen to their bodies, who do not strive for more than what the soul truly needs. I want to make heroes of those who do not force or push, but surrender to each moment as it opens. I want to applaud those who may not be driven towards success as we know it, but instead are nurturing something deep and subtle and needed. I want to make heroes of those who honor their limitations, who are unable to keep up with the busyness of our times, yet show up to each profound, necessary moment. It is truly an act of courage and rebellion to do any such thing in a world demanding you resist your own self, your own rhythm, and your own soul. And the paradox is that often when we cease our incessant doing, even for a minute, and listen to that quiet voice within, we discover what it is we absolutely must do and what instead can fall away. We finally hear the call towards what serves our soul and what then will serve the world. Nothing more, nothing less. A hero is simply someone brave. So come, be softly brave. Be a new, quieter kind of hero. Few may applaud, it's true, but your soul certainly will. That is by Layla Allen, most of a poem called How Brave You Are. You can see why I thought that was so poignant today. I mean, even mentions surrendering to it, and that is so much what this moment in the astrology is asking us to do, and what we will be working on over the next couple of months. There is a lot of finishing to be done, and we may not know quite what is next yet, but Pisces and source and spirit connection reminds us to have faith in the benevolence of the universe to provide everything that we all need exactly when we need it. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to share here with you today in the Cosmic Community Astrology. This is Stacy Dredd, Galactic Ambassador, and I really appreciate you being tuned in and hearing what I have to say about how we might be able to understand the astrological weather around us just a little bit more and work with it. And I hope that you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week. And we'll be chatting again next week for that Pisces new moon and pick through it all another time. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.